Hello and welcome to this live stream. How are you all today? Is everyone so crazy like me watching Marcel Vos in a theme park? You're watching me be in a theme park. Well, then you gotta have a time machine because I haven't been in a theme park for a couple of years. Happy Carnival. Oh, it's Carnival? Oh, right. That's the thing. I don't do Carnival. I'm from the north. Carnival is not a thing here. Hello Duvel, Slijn, Kangi. I welcome you all. The audio seems to be a little distorted. Is it? Is that just you, or is that everyone? I'm on the wrong side of the rivers. I suppose I am. I'm from above the rivers. I'm from where, here we are tough. Here we have the hunger winter. Oh, the intro tune was? That's weird. It was fine for me. I mean, I always listen to the intro tune as well, because then I know when it ends. And I need to come in, but it was normal for me. Maybe it'll be fine next time. It's just the intro, it doesn't really matter. I hope you're all doing well in these times. I mean, I don't want to delve too much into it, but obviously there's a thing going on. And I hope that I can provide a little bit of, well, stress relief if they're, you know, if you're stressed about it. Can't say I'm completely unaffected myself. So, let's have a good few hours here. A nice evening. Distractions are welcome in these times. Yes. And especially, you know, there's the whole Corona thing is sort of on its, you know, on the return, sort of fading into obscurity, because most, if not all, of the restrictions in the Netherlands are now lifted. And then a new thing comes along. Well, anyway, if I'm watching your stream, I'm not doom scrolling. It's good. Yeah, I tend to not doom scroll too much. Like, for example, you guys know that there's like evening shows. You have like last week tonight you had in America, Zondag met Lubach, which is Sunday with Lubach in the Netherlands, which is basically once a week some kind of host goes, tells you how terrible the world is for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and they, you know, take one big subject and maybe a few smaller ones. I watched a lot of that back like a year, 2 years ago. And it didn't make me happier, because it was just too much, well, basically doom scrolling, except like doom watching, I suppose. Yeah, I was coming on to that, Slijn. It's the Avond show with Arjen Lubach now, I know, but I haven't watched a single thing of it, because I can't take any more of it. I don't want to, like, it's like 5 times a week now, right? Or at least multiple times a week. I don't want to be reminded multiple times a week how terrible the world is. I just want to have a relaxing evening. It's like, just no. I'm completely done with that stuff. For now, at least. Anyway, what I thought we're gonna do today is continue the Diamond Heights Park. Well, the dangerously dense Diamond Heights, actually. And I'm not sure how relaxing that will be in terms of the music, because it's quite a cacophony, which is a word I quite like. Also, there's a fun little glitch. Just look at this. Now, if I do this, look at this. The resolution is all wrong at the moment. It's hardly readable what's on screen. Don't worry, I did this on purpose. I'll fix it in a minute. Thank you for the 7 months Jimmy, for the 6 months Sabrina, for the 1 month Juan, and for the 4 months during the intro, Mr. AMD, which I forgot to say. Thank you all. And we got a hypering going on. So there's currently a glitch in OpenRCT where whenever, with the zooming levels, the scaling levels, doesn't really render all that well. Now it's fine again. Thank you for another 5 gifted subs, Slijn. Slijn McAwesome is awesome. Yes, he is. You are very awesome. So, you know, I recorded the video. Well, no, I didn't record it earlier, but I edited the video today. So, for example, you have this, and you need to zoom in a little bit for the screenshots of the stats. So you zoom in like 1, 2, 3, 4, scaling factor of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, scaling factor of 3. The problem is, this looks terrible. This is not a normal scaling factor of 3. Look at how weird all the text is. This is not normal. But when I take a screenshot of it, the screenshot is perfectly fine. Like, not if I do light shot, but if I, you know, Ctrl S, the in-game screenshot feature, the screenshot was fine, so it didn't really impact me too much. But if you then go back to normal, like scaling factor of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all wrong. But if you then go, like, if you then come to one from a lower scaling factor, so if you go to 0.75 and back to 1, it's perfectly fine. Have you tried turning RCT on and off again? Many times. Then write a script to take 60 screenshots per second and stream Windows photo viewers viewing them. I mean, I record everything with the normal scaling factor. It's just for the screenshot I zoom in. So everything was fine. Otherwise, I would have just used an older version. Which I actually did for the thumbnail of Thursday's video. You might be able to guess the topping, considering I opened up this park, which I built today. Anyway, let's load up the Dangerously Dense Diamond Heights. There it is. Now you have to tell me when the music becomes too loud, because then I can turn it down. Because I don't know, it is louder than usual, of course. How am I doing with Wordle? I've never played it. So, I'm not doing. Just not. The only complaint about the music is that there's not enough candy style. Well, we can do something about it after this little lag spike. There we go. Also, let's save this as version 3. Because last time I accidentally overwrote version 1. Okay, I saw we have a little spot here. So let's build a roller coaster. Let's see. What kind of roller coaster shall we build? How about another wooden coaster? Let's build it right on the edge. Let's see. If we just build it there. Yeah, that will be fine. I think. I reckon this will be fine. Drowned guest 1111. Alright. Thank you for the follow. NC Productions. Be surprised if 1111 is still in the park. Well, we'll see. They're not. 1110 is, though. Let's see if 2222 is. 2222 is also not. Let's start building this thing. Color or right of your choice. Alright, okay, 1110 is fine. There's something happening in the year 1111 that makes you want to drown it. There he goes, 1110. Soon to be dead. Can you paint one of your roller coasters to only blue and yellow? Oh, IKEA colors. Obviously, I know you mean Ukraine colors. Let's do this one. I like looping coasters, as blue and yellow doesn't fit well on a big wooden coaster. It's very ugly, so I want to keep it a bit nice as well. There we go. Can't really do blue on top and yellow on the bottom. That doesn't really work for coasters, but this is good enough. Together we stand. What does following do? It just means you get notifications when I'm live. When I go live. Make it a stand-up coaster. I don't think I have it available. I mean, this is good enough. Oh, thank you for the Prime sub. The Bird Turgler. Nice name. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as well. And thank you for the follow, Nico Steven. And clap your cheeks. Great name. Name a ride of your choice. Are we gonna name that ride like hashtag Ukraine or something? But you know, whatever you want. Now, if I build like a spiral like this, that means that it becomes more difficult to build anything through it, but that's fine. Eventually we'll be able to do less dense, but the beauty about these parks is that you don't plan anything. Like, you plan that you're gonna build it ridiculously dense, but you're not gonna be like, okay, I'll build this, and then that slots in there nicely. You just build, and when you're done building, you start building the next thing, and you just see what fits. That's what makes these parks fun. Name the roller coaster use colored Svensk Berg-och-dalbana. I mean, Svensk is like, I think it's Swedish for Sweden or Swedish or something like that. Svensk Berg-och-dalbana. I have no idea what it means. Do you really have 1.1 million monies? Yes, I do. I mean, I know what you just named right is probably something Swedish. Oh, Swedish roller coaster. That makes sense. Yeah, yellow and blue is of course also the colors of Sweden. And if you go lighter blue, it's also the colors of Kazakhstan and Palau. 37.5. This is only 39 meters. We're not going to make that. Hang on. Can we go through the looping? That would be cool. Should be possible, right? I think I might be on the right height. What if I make this a small turn? No, that doesn't work. Hang on, there's only 15. Like, hang on. Feel I'm a bit odd. Feels a bit odd naming the coaster meant to show some support to Ukraine after Sweden. You're right. You know what? I'm just gonna... Yeah, that is channel points, and I kind of don't want to get in between that. Just gonna do another one for Ukraine then. Let's see. Can I do hashtags? Does that work? That does work. Hashtag Ukraine. I mean, as much as I like these live streams to not be too much, you know, current events, you also can't entirely avoid it. Because it is real life. Anyway, I'm confused. Like, this turn should fit here. Oh wait, no. Never mind, I'm stupid. I'm entirely stupid, but you already knew that. That's no surprise. Let's see if we can do it now. Oh, hell yeah. Isn't that beautiful? What's the most compact park you've ever built? That's definitely my Overcrowded Forest Frontiers. And if you want to see a video about it, I made on my YouTube channel. It's called The Most Insane Park I've Ever Built, or something like that, I'm not sure. It shows it off pretty nicely. There's also an older video called The Most Complex Park I've Ever Built, I believe. Which was up to that point the most complex park I had ever built. But then came the Overcrowded Forest Frontiers. The most complex park is, what's it called? Electric Fields. Which I built many years ago now. Hang on, where does this park fence go? Am I currently inside the park fence boundaries? Oh. It goes... Hang on. Why am I outside... I'm currently building outside the park. Wait, what? Do we have building rights here? Hang on. Is sandbox mode on? Oh, sandbox mode was still on. Was I... No, I was not outside the park here. Why is sandbox mode on? I don't know why sandbox mode was on, but it's fine. The only thing it does is it lets you build outside of the park. Well, a few other things, but so far the only thing it's let me done is build outside the park here. Okay, this doesn't work, right? Entrance in the way. I think I can go above it. There we go. Let's stay banked. No wonder you had all that money. Oh no, sandbox mode doesn't do anything with money. So you don't have to be afraid that I cheated that. Okay, now there's no Ukraine. Let's not say that. That's a bit inappropriate. I was gonna say Ukraine is in the way, but I'm kinda stuck at the moment. Let's see how much speed I have here. Let's see. I don't think we have too much speed here, but can I go over that? Ah, we do have 50. Is this right next to it? Yes, it is. And there's also this bobsled track, but there's still one more to the left, I think. This is complicated. But whereas last time I was frustrated by the complicatedness of whatever I was building, this time I feel it's a nice challenge. Can I do an S-bend here? I cannot. That helix is outside of the park. Oh, it is. You're right. Let's destroy that. Didn't even notice. Oh, that might make the entire thing easier. Okay, that obviously doesn't work. Ooh, hang on. Can we do an S-bend? We can! Wonderful. Wonderful, that looks wonderful. And then another helix. It's going very fast. Are there different thresholds for the guest depending on the rides, or is it more of what map you are on? For what? You meant the intensity. I mean, it differs per guest. Can I do another S-bend? I can! Can I do another one? Hell yeah! We're in S-bend town, baby. Population about 140. All of us. Alright, let's do a break. And that is... Hang on, why can't I... There we go. This coaster. Ta-da! It's sort of blue and yellow. And it doesn't look ugly. Because it's only little bits and not the entire massive wooden support. Because that would have been ugly. Okay, how can I connect this nicely? Oh, thank you for the sub, Comiker91. I can't make my own coaster. I always run out of money on the second drop. I mean, yeah, Duel is pretty correct. And either you don't have enough money when you start, or you're building them too big. Like, how big are your coasters, mate? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go underground, because there's literally no other way that this will fit. Well, not necessarily underground. I can just lower the land, actually. Although I can't quite connect it to the path. Unless... Can you make the road cross the railroad? I technically could, but that wouldn't really help me. We just do... this. There we go. Now it's connected. And there's a few people on the grass, but they'll find their way back eventually. Alright. There's that coaster done. Whoops! I messed up the lateral G. It's probably at the end. Let's do one more break so that we break sooner. So I want to be cute and to have like one last little hill, but that leaves no room for breaks. Oh, thank you for the 100 bits, Comiker. Now it's not the S-bends, I presume, unless it's going very fast. And let's have a little look. The speed. That's quite a tall thing. Maybe we need to instate some brakes earlier? Ah, maybe you were right. The threshold is 100. No, that seems to be fine. I'm pretty sure it was the last turn. Yeah, we're absolutely fine. 2.53 at the moment. So let's see what stats that gives. 675 831 452. It's pretty good. Let's open it. Almost forgot. Are there any rides that I have forgotten to open? No. Because there was one in the Overcrowded Forest Frontiers that I never opened. Which I only found out like much later. I find it weird that the go-kart says race won by guests something. Like all the others says this many people on the ride. Oh, it just started and now it does say that many people on the ride. Okay, interesting. So a crashed ride on the list. Oh, crashed. I thought it was just broken down. You're right. I wonder how long that's been crashed. And we're probably down to like 0 customers an hour. Is there much difference? Claustrophobia has got like 1,000 more guests in total. That's not that bad, but it's also like it's also on 0 per hour. Hang on, was it just not going because they were synchronized? Because it's on 0 per hour, but it has a massive queue. Oh, and now it breaks down. Well done. Like, I finally fixed one of them and the other is just like, whoop. Time to nope out. You know, what's nice about these wooden coasters is they make the whole thing look a lot more dense because they're big. Like, if you build 3 looping coasters in, you know, quite entangled and stuff, it doesn't necessarily look that big of a coaster. But if you replace them, if you transform them into 3 wooden coasters, then it's a bigger difference. Let me just show you. Let me just quickly show you. Because I do find it interesting. I'm gonna take Neptunes Knot, which is only one coaster, obviously. And where is it? There it is. And we're gonna build it again. That's rock and roll, baby. Neptunes Knot. I'm gonna build it again next to it, and then we're gonna enable a little bit of cheaty, which is show arbitrary ride type changes. Then we'll open this. You know what? Let's also the vehicles. Wooden trains, wooden coaster trains. And then we go wooden coaster. The wooden coaster looks much denser. Because you can't see a lot of air through it. You know, especially if you make the support like black. It looks just denser to me. But maybe that's just me. Aren't this the original rides came with the game? The only one that I added in Dangerously Dense Diamond Heights is the floorless coaster, because I wanted it. Okay, let's continue. let's say that's why I don't like building wooden coasters. The supports take up so much space that I can't see through them. Yeah, it's partly that. That's why I don't really want to build super tall wooden coasters. Because it does have that effect, that's correct. That's also why I only built like 2 wooden coasters in my diamond height, in my electric fields park. Because if I built more, then you would indeed have that effect, which isn't very nice. I think in Neptunes Knot, it's not that obvious, already quite dense. In less dense coaster, the wooden coaster makes it a lot denser. Fair enough. Hang on, let's quickly try then. Let's make this a woody. I mean, definitely makes it look bigger. Let's go back to looping coaster. And let's actually build that go-kart that I was gonna build. There we go. Just build the station. There. The main difference between also, like, Electric Fields is a very flat park. The same goes for Forest Frontiers. I mean, I deliberately made it entirely flat. This one isn't. So this is a bit more of a challenge, and it's not as easy to have the path all nice and stuff. Thank you for the follow, the Marcel. And Droge Tessa, which I missed earlier. No. I need to be 1 higher. Does that work? Yeah, that fits. Then we can go this way. Otherwise, we would not be able to make that turn. And hang on. I think we would have still been able to make the turn, actually. No, we wouldn't. It's just because got 2 more units now. You might not know what I'm on about, but it's fine. It works. Why can't Nightbot show all of them? Well, I'm happy that it doesn't show all of them. I mean, if there are 20 quotes with a certain word and it just spams all those 20 quotes whenever you ask for it, that's not a very good design. Okay, and maybe place the station in a weird place, because I can't build the entrance and exit buildings on the other side, because then the rail track's in the way. Because it's 1 unit higher than the rail track. Yeah, I need to go up. Oh, it's already connected? Oh. Didn't see that coming. How do I get this back? Alright, you know what? Let's go down. And go up. Perfect exit line. This is the mess of path that you can expect from a park like this. And let's go candy style. Where is it? There it is. Ah, lovely. Also, let's get rid of all the tall grass. For a chat, it would be really messy if all quotes would be displayed. Yes. That just... I mean, it could do like 3 and then say, and this many more, but... Make the candy style louder. That's not how it works. I can't do that. Like, I can do this. If you have headphones on, this feels really freaky. Because it goes from left to right, to left to right. Now, the candy style is really louder, presumably because it uses different frequencies. Because candy styles generally, I think, higher frequency than the other ones. So you just hear it over the top. Okay, let's build another coaster. Isn't Dodgems the loudest music? Well, it sure was in my overcrowded Forest Frontiers park. You could hear that stuff for miles. Okay, and booster. Is this gonna be in the way? Yes, it is. Can we go down? Actually, we can go straight. But that doesn't work after that. Imagine living near a park like this. Luckily, these parks are almost always kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm quite surprised that the vast majority of these roller coaster tycoon parks are in the middle of nowhere. Like, you have like an urban park and Bumbley Beach, sure, but like, often there's a lot of forest and desert around it. Which is a bit weird. Okay, now we built up some speed. Let's go up. Oh, didn't quite make that. Let's make the hill smaller then. One upside, cheap highs. That's fair. Alright, can we do a loop-de-loop? That's an S-bend. There we go, that's a loop. Let's do another one. Does it make that? It does. Wonderful. Yes, a loopy-da-poopy. Swinging inverter ship 2 has broken down. Well, fix it. Please. I don't have too much speed. Let's do more boosters. I'm a big fan of boosters. Also, this is nice isometric. It perfectly matches up here in the middle. How much fast do we have left here? Well, it's too high for support, so I can't do a loop anyway. No matter how much fast we have left. I probably would not have made it anyway. So it's fine. Everything is fine. Oh yeah, no, that quote, number 97, is entirely true. I never, ever, 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 ever cheat. Except, you know, the few exceptions, but, you know. It happens. Like, sometimes you just get the urge to cheat, and... I mean, this is not a good analogy for relationships. Don't take this as relationship advice. I think I just laughed too hard on my own joke, but, you know, what can you do about it? Sometimes you just get the urge to laugh about your own jokes. I think we might be... Hang on. How fast are we going here? Less than 100? Okay, then we're good. Seems like guest 81 can't be killed. Seems like I missed a command. Well, command. Channel point reward. Let me finish building this thing. 81 might already be dead. Or gone. You're all dead. And gone. That's a Queen song. I think it's all dead, all dead. Let's see, 81. Well, they're either dead or gone. Marcel says something nice about Kangi, so it can be quoted. Well, Kangi doesn't seem to, which means he's very humble, which is very nice. Haha, gotcha. Can you name the next guest at Enter Spark? Marcel Vos? Sure. Where's the entrance? There. This one. 14,000 already. Dang. The next in line then. Well, that's 83. Shuttle Loop 3 was great. You know what's also great? Drowning in water. You will die. You will die a horrible... Is that too harsh? Anyway. The Spark is very tidy. It is. Probably because I have 203 handyman. Turn on notifications for him. Sure. Let's see. Where is me? Oh, we have 2 Marcel Vosses actually. Marcel Vos the 35th. I completely forgot we did that. Oh, you know what? Let's do for both. Hang on, this is the wrong one. This is not Marcel Vos. There we go. Let's see. Fire all staff. Okay. My auto click is already on from earlier today, making videos. It's very useful when you need to build long straight bits of track. Do you ever stream other games than RCT? Yes, because I find it fun. Sadly, they don't get the same viewership generally. Like GeoGuessr, I'm very lucky if I break 80 viewers. We're currently on more than double that. GeoGuessr is very fun though. It is. Last time especially because I showed you my hometown. Which was very interesting. And also for me a bit of a, you know, kind of a nostalgia trip. Let's go... You know, why not a big fat bobsled? I still want to show you some other places that are of relevance to me. I might do that on Wednesday. Yeah, I had a phase where I... Well, phase. It wasn't a phase, but there was a time when I streamed quite a bit of Plants vs. Zombies. Which was fun, but then I got a bit tired of it. And also didn't get the best viewership. Bloons Tower Defense I don't really play anymore. So, you know, that's done. But yeah, I might do it on Wednesday, where I just, you know, do a bit of GeoGuessr and show off some more places. Now the question is, can I get through this mess of a looping coaster? Thank you for the follow, Eternal Grizzly 2 and Hit Hansi. Why is nobody on this green coaster? Well, looking at the path, this part of the path is generally quiet. So maybe it's that. There's only one ride on here. There's 2. I also see... Hang on. Where does that path... Oh, it connects there. There are only 2 rides on this path. Well, soon to be 3. Because, you know, this bobsled. Ah, there we go. We got ourselves out of the mess. I spit on your .coms. That was a GeoGuessr quote. It's very annoying when in GeoGuessr you get, you know, you're looking for URLs because they can identify the country. You know, you get .mx. You know you're in Mexico. But whenever you get the .com, it's annoying because it doesn't tell you anything. And that's when I said that. Name a ride of your choice. Alright. Alright. I think I made that joke like 1 billion times by now. But it's still funny. Why is it funny, you ask? Because I say so. And in this live stream, I make the rules. In this live stream, I make the jokes. In this live stream, I'm God. Why does making UI cost like 10 times as much as making functionality? I mean, a bit of functionality is easy, because there's just a bit of code interacting with another bit of code. The UI, and I know what you're doing it for. It's a lot more difficult. Do you remember every quote? No, definitely not. Let's see, did I get the name for that right? Bobsled coaster, bobsleigh mech coaster. Sure. Bobsleigh mech coaster. Like the "oh, I'm stupid," that, like, I spit on your .coms is very descriptive. The "oh, I'm stupid" is, I mean, I know I said it when playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, but that's it. It doesn't have, like, anything of substance. I feel like we're coming down to dangerous speeds here. But that's okay, because danger is my middle name. Ask a geography question. What popular city in Florida is also a popular city in Russia? Wait, popular? You mean, like, with a lot of people in it? Populated. I think you mean highly populated. It's St. Petersburg. I mean, the famous one is in Russia, because, you know, 5 million people and whatever. Second biggest city in the country, I believe. And then there's one in Florida, which I don't know anything about, other than that it's called St. Petersburg and it's in Florida. Now, I have a feeling this coaster's gonna crash so hard. Let's just do one straight piece so that we have space for a break in case we need one. I don't want to add brakes unless it's absolutely necessary and vital. Let's see, and we'll come back down. And we're done. This was surprisingly easy to get through all of it. A little bit more difficult. You know what, I can... Why is everything leaving the... Oh, I have no staff, of course. Let's fix that. Actually, entertain us to make them happy. Although, once guests want to leave the park, I don't think you can change their mind. Few security guards. I think this is enough staff. But yeah, we're gonna lose some guests, which is unfortunate. You can change their aliveness, though. I don't know what that's about anymore. I have an auto clicker, which makes it faster. Hang on. What's the other question that you guys are answering? That you guys are... Did I miss something? Oh, what's one of the US state where the name starts with an M but not start with New or North? Well, someone already answered it. It's Nebraska. I don't know how fast I would have gotten that. Okay, let's see. Right tracks. Okay, this is at 6. How high is that path? 6. Well, that makes this exit easy. There we go, that's connected. You said it can't change the mind of the guests who want to leave the park. Oh yeah, I can change their aliveness. Oh, also Nevada. Yes. And yes, I can change their aliveness, but I won't do that this time. Actually, I need this to be in a different spot. No, this works actually still, never mind. Because I need to do that, and then... need to go somewhere here. A guest that's about to leave the park. Well, there are a lot of those. I can't pick those up that are outside the park, so let's pause. We've actually... I think we've lost like 1,000 guests already. Do we have a lot of vandalisms? Yes, we do. Much better. And now we got different litter bins. Bench warmer. Let's use the other one. And also, what was I gonna do? There was something I was gonna do. Oh yeah. Right price manager, I need to turn that back on. I had to turn it off for video today. So that's back on. I think quite a few of these. Yeah, look at that. Quite a few of these were making no money. Which is because in the time that we've been playing, which is about, I don't know, like 35 minutes in this park, they have gotten across the threshold where they lose value. And their price was not adjusted downwards. Which means, yeah, guests weren't going on the right anymore. Okay, the guests are done with leaving the park. We've lost about 1,000 guests. We started off with more than we have now. But can we see it in the revenue? Yeah, we're at like 92k, then 77, 96, 89, 81. And we're only on 61. And we're already on the 28th of July. So we're not doing well this month. Hopefully we're going better next month. But first I need to connect this little pathy to a queue somewhere here. Or to a path somewhere here, which is actually very easy. It's ridiculously easy. Ta-da! Done. This is not on the dead end now, because this is a thoroughfare now. Of course I want this to be slightly longer than one path piece. This queue line. I think we should pronounce Q like Q woo 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 woo. Because it does have 4 letters after the Q. We should pronounce those. Alright, let's properly test it. Let's hope someone eventually dies, because fun. Is this an overcrowded Diamond Heights? It is. Look at that. The NS painted their trains in the colors of Ukraine. That's so nice of them. Nice. For anyone who doesn't know, our trains have been blue and yellow for a very long time. It's a good color combination. I've probably, I mean, IKEA uses it, Sweden uses it. Probably used it before on many coasters. Alright, let's build a launch freefall. Why the heck not? Why not there? Oh, that's why not there, it doesn't fit. How about, I don't know, there then? Does that fit? It does. Now the question is, can we fit an entrance and an exit line? Well, let's give it a go. Let's first do the launch speed. Slightly faster. Let's go to 72. Slightly faster. 78. Will that be fine? Ah, that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be perfectly fine. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Oh, this seems to be rather easier than I expected. Ah, maybe not. What if we go this way? No, that's all. That's all impossible. Life is impossible. Unless we go this way. Nope. It's all impossible. Story of my life. Unless we go this way. Color right of your choice. Go ahead. Yeah, what the hell are you guys doing? I don't want to start in the queue. To stand in the queue. I mean, that's just English written like a Dutch guy would say it, sort of, with a very heavy Dutch accent. Color the go-kart supports red. Sure. I'll take this go-kart because it's the closest one. There you go. You can see it a bit better now. Okay, we've done the entrance. Now the question is, can we do the exit? I classic County Q line. Oh my god. That's just terrible, man. Okay, can we... Okay, there's an ATM in the way. See, I'm on top of the ATM. That works. Is that a thoroughfare? Hang on, where are we? We are there. I think that is a thoroughfare, you know. Let's try to make it one here as well. Why not? Extra path is always good. Yeah, just go that way. And that's easy. That fits rather nicely, actually. This was not as much of a challenge as I thought it would be. We'll probably see bigger challenges in the future. If you're not careful, I'll say Welsh at you guys. I mean, if you are not careful, I will try to pronounce that Welsh and make you cringe into oblivion. Because I can't Welsh. So be careful if I were you. Because this is a threat. Because down here I make the threats. Yes, I keep referencing that. Can I just connect this here? No. No, I can't. What if I go up? If I go up one more. I mean, that's a connection. It's okay, I can't Dutch. I can Dutch. I can't dialect though. Yeah, you know what's a thing I especially can't do? I can't do accents. Like, I've tried. Like, I mean, I can do a very heavy Dutch accent on English, of course, because I am Dutch. But, you know, like a Scottish accent or something like that, or like a French accent. Recently, I tried to do... well, speaking of Belgian accents, recently I tried to speak Dutch with a German accent, a la Annie Friesinger, and it just sounded Flemish. Also, I'm kind of at a loss at how I'm gonna do this entrance line. And you know what? I'm just gonna go that way. I mean, can you do a Belgian accent? Ah ja, dat kan ik wel doen, hè. I mean, I can do it in Dutch. I don't think I can do it in English. This queue line is becoming longer and longer by the second. There we go. I once heard someone describe Flemish as sounding like rattling wetness. What does that even mean? Wait, what's PA Dutch? Oh, Pennsylvania Dutch? I mean, that's German. I mean, yeah, ratelende nattigheid. I mean, I can translate it, but what does that mean? I don't know what that... I can't imagine what that sounds like, you know? Or what that means. And there we go. Just a flat ride on top of a roller coaster station. Why not? Okay. Now we need to connect this. Now this is a this hill is a hopeless avenue. That's not gonna work. I think. Unless maybe I just do that and that. No, it'll perfectly work. Easy. I'm once again stupid. Like, we have so much space here. I didn't even need to do that. Wow, I'm dumb. We need safety inspectors in the park. No, we don't. We don't need safety. Safety is for losers. The only thing we need is profit. Revenue. I will die for revenue. Am I a proper tycoon already? I mean, I kind of sound like Mr. Krabs. Or Scrooge McDuck. Highway to the danger zone. I mean, this entire park is a danger zone pretty much. This is basically Action Park squared. You sound like Zoidberg. Zoidberg isn't some kind of like maniac tycoon, is he? Alright, let's do more flat rides. Because why not? At least with all the path inclines, the guests are getting a nice workout. Yeah, like, if you stay in this park for more than a bit, you're guaranteed to lose a lot of weight. I should go to this park. You might also die, which isn't ideal. Dying isn't ideal, though. Hang on. How much higher is... Oh, this is completely yellow. Oh, much higher. Okay. That's not where I thought we were at all. Have you ever tried Sim Golf? No, I have not. What's up, gamers? What's up, Sean? One of my neighbors is called Sean. It'd be pretty cool if it turned out that he watched me. See if I can connect this back here somehow. Have you ever tried a flight sim? No. I want it to be multi-level mazes. That would be cool. You know, I still read that hey, it's me, your neighbor scene. That just doesn't make sense. Like, not at all. That scene is Sean. Like, you have seen Bean. Like, he is not Sean Bjorn, is he? That, just no. Just no. English, or I suppose this is like Scots or whatever. It's just no. Just don't anymore. You make too little sense. I'm clueless about what's going on. I'm ranting about how the name Sean, spelled as Scene, makes no sense at all. Because it truly doesn't. Probably Irish, yeah. Like, it should be pronounced scene, but... yeah. It's also the spelling like S-H-A-U-N, which makes a lot more sense. But every language has those kind of curiosities. Like, in Dutch, we still have... like the SCH at the end of words, which you don't pronounce. Like, you pronounce the S. Like, fantasties means fantastic. Fantasties, like, at the end you have an SCH. But you don't pronounce the CH, it's just fantasties. Although, if that CH wouldn't be there, you would pronounce it fantastis instead of fantasties. So, the CH at the end influences the vowel sound before it, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it works like that. And, you know, it's fairly intuitive if you've been grown up with it, because, you know, you've been beaten to death with it in primary school, learning all about it. So it's fine. But as a learner of the language, I can imagine that it's not as fine. And you know what? I'll have a little queue line at the end of a dead end, which is fine. How do you determine the prices of the ride? I have... Oh, name the park. I missed that. Apologies. I have a little plugin for that. That does it automatically for me. If I do it myself, I always leave flat rides be, and coasters I do like, I don't know, like roughly 1.5 times the excitement rating. It's not really a strict rule. Name the park. Let me see what that was about. Never skip lag day. Oh, I did see your comment. I just didn't see the channel point reward. Just remind me if I miss it. It's all fine. Never skip lag day. There you go. I guess you stole that from the German Fantasties and said we can't have an SH sound at the end. Then we just sound like those weirdos. Well, I think it's also from maybe Old Dutch, where things were different. Like, for example, you have the IJ, which currently is the I sound. That used to be the E sound. That used to be a different sound. But you still see it in words now, where it doesn't make sense, and you don't pronounce the J at all. It's a relic of Old Dutch. Like for all the Dutch people, like there's a Dutch skater with the last name Blokhuizen. You know, Huizen, you know, the U sound is UI, but in his name it's UIJ, because that's still from Old Dutch. Hang on. Why can't I just... Drown guest 777777777. Let's see. Is he on page 2? Yes, he is. Well, if they still are. If they're not already dead or gone. They are still alive. Surprisingly, not for much longer. Would it be too much? Yes, that would be too much. Let's not do that. Well, you know what? Let's do that. It's too relevant to ignore it anyway. Let's pick... I think 666, number of the devil, is already drowned. Is 6666 still in the park? That will be very much the number of the devil, is it? No. Let's just do 6660 then. It's close enough. Hang on, let me take them out of the queue. Vladimir Putin is gonna drown. Well, that's fun. Suppose that's my token of support. Where was I? Right, merry-go-round. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, Abel Graham. I appreciate that. You're probably not welcome in Russia anymore now. I wasn't really planning to go. Is this... Yes, that is connected. Wait, no it isn't. That's not at all connected. That's also not connected. I can't seem to connect the path to the damn entrance. Oh, thank you for the 5 gifted sub. And thank you, Slijn, and thank you for the sub, Xaak1609. Come on. It's like, there we go, finally. Oh boy, oh boy. Yes. Oh, thank you for another gifted sub, Mr. AMD. Thank you for killing Putin. Imagine that, if he just dropped dead in his bunker or whatever. The power of Roller Coaster Tycoon. Isn't there a mod that can auto-connect paths? I don't think there is. I wouldn't want to use this either, because connecting the paths is kind of the whole challenge here. Also, I think that the more complicated this gets, the more problems that mod would have. Let's do an observation tower. And yeah, I think that'll be fine there. And then do the entry line. Will this fit? This will fit perfectly. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. RTC is Death Note. What is RTC? Roller Toaster Tycoon? I've made that joke too many times because people misspell it all the time. People say RTC all the time. Roller Tycoon Coaster. Yeah, that sounds too normal. Rijsbergse Tennis Club. We had TCR, where I grew up, which is Tennis Club Runa. Roller Toaster. It's a toaster that's rolling about. Isn't there that... It reminds me of that game called Bread Yourself. Where you're bread and you need to get in the toaster or something like that. Which is fun. I've never played it though, but I've watched others play it. Or toast yourself or whatever. I am bread, I'm not sure. Oh no, wait, the thing yourself was... Oh no, wait, I'm now thinking of Can Your Pet. Which is a bit... weird. Oh, thank you for another gifted sub, Mr. AMD. That game was pure PewDieBait though, was it? Was it made purely for PewDiePie? Purely Pie. Okay, I don't think I can fit the entrance and exit here. How about... I kind of want to build a coaster here later though, station. I'm gonna keep that space. I'm doing a little bit of planning. I got revenge in this scenario on Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe. Did you also build a big park? Okay, what if we do it here? Okay, can we do this? Can we do this? I think we can, you know. There we go, that's been done. Now can we do this one? Oh. Yes, we can. It's already done. That, you know, well, let's swap these two around so we can have a short exit line and a long queue line. Well, long, at least longer queue line. That was surprisingly easy. Okay, there we go. The queue line. My company value in this park when I beat it was over 100,000. I think that was in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, because in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 that's not very impressive. Mine's currently over 2 million, but it's about 10 times as high as in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. Can you zoom out so we can see how the park looks so far? Sure. There you go. That's the park. It's getting denser and denser. We already built 1, 2, 3 coasters, I think. And a bunch of flat rides. And a go-kart. I don't know much about RCT, I'm just here to have a good time. Well, you're very welcome. Starting to get to OCFF levels. No, not even close. This is child's play, honestly. Like, this scenario is dense, don't get me wrong, this park currently. But compared to Overcrowded Forest Frontiers, Let me just give you a little taste. Not just you, but, you know, the people in general. Just in case anyone doesn't remember or is here for the first time. I'll show off what I'm trying to emulate. Which is a park I built, I think, a little over a year ago on stream as well. You know, the old series is on YouTube. And I made a specific video about it on my main channel. And all the live streams are on my second channel. Yeah, loud music incoming. So, this is what I'm trying to emulate. This is very dense. Imagine if they were all wooden coasters. I mean, half the track wouldn't render because wooden coaster doesn't have a lot of these track pieces, but still. Turns up the volume. Oh, I can do that. In options. If I do that, it becomes a lot more distorted. Listen to that. It's very distorted. How many rides are in this park? 255. Well, 194 rides, and then the other stuff is stalls and stuff. But now we don't have that limit anymore, which is very nice. Also, one thing I don't like, I love OpenRCT2, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely fantastic, but one thing that I don't like, which happened very recently, and I'm, well, quite annoyed by it, frankly, is that they, quote-unquote, fixed the stats of the hardline. AKA, the hardline doesn't have terrible memey stats anymore. They're still bad, but they're like stand-up coaster bad now. And I don't know exactly what numbers they changed where, I didn't look into it, couldn't be bothered. But I don't like that change. Mostly because now every time I want to talk about the hardline and how terrible it is, I have to use an older version to get the right stats. Otherwise, everyone will get, oh, these aren't the stats of the hardline because they aren't using OpenRCT2. And I'm already having to do that sometimes. Yeah, and the only reason that they changed it, Sabrina, is because I made that video. If I didn't bring attention to it, they would not have changed it. So it's sort of, it's not my fault, but it is because of me. And I don't like that. Let's see, where did I want to build that coaster? That was yeah, there. So I'm really not a fan of that. And it becomes more annoying and annoying that for so many things now, which I can't blame them. Like, I know I can't blame them that they're trying to, you know, make it better thing. But for me, it's very annoying that more and more I have to be like, it's this in OpenRCT2 and it's this in older versions, and you know, in vanilla and stuff. It gets very annoying. That's why I still need to make that video about how we need like a definitive version like we got for Age of Empires. Make a poor guys change it back. It's not like that's gonna happen. Like, it's different. Like, they also did it with the mazes, with the maze pathfinding algorithm. But that's different, because that pathfinding algorithm thing is only really gonna be a thing, like, if you specifically go after it. But that's also a thing that, yeah, you know, I understand why they did it, but it's not, I don't necessarily, I probably would not have done it myself. Also, with the ride pricing thing, it's that, you know, it works differently for very young rides. Instead, it now goes, like, you have a ride value, which is calculated, and if your ride is under 5 months old, it goes times 1.5. If it's under 13 months old, but over 5 months, it's times 1.2. And after that it goes to like times 1, times 0.8, times 0.6 or something like that. Originally, it was the same after 13 months, but for very young rides it used to be plus 30. And for like slightly young rides it used to be plus 10. Alright, see his finger. Instead of a multiplier, which means that for very cheap rides, like the merry-go-round, it used to have a massive effect. You used to be able to charge like $7 in the first 5 months, and then like $3 after 5 months, and after 13 months $1, something like that. Now, when I made a video about ride prices, I assumed... Oh, hang on, this station needs to be 1 higher, otherwise I can't do exits. I assumed that it was like in OpenRCT2 for everything. Like originally as well. Which is not the case. Which was annoying because I had to make a second video like, oh no, it's different in RCT1. Because I only found it out after I made the video. And like, I get why they did it. Because it makes much more sense this way. I understand it from a game balance perspective. You know, you're making a big mod and... you know, you want it to be as balanced as possible, but it makes my job a lot more annoying sometimes. And that's mostly because, you know, different people are using different versions. Like, if everyone was using OpenRCT2, and it was kind of like Minecraft, where sometimes certain behaviors just change, because, you know, the developers think that they're better, then that would be fine. But it's slightly different like that, and I'm not making my videos only for OpenRCT2. Because if I did, the audience would be a lot smaller. Like, I'm not Dirkling, that's what Dirkling does. This is a very weird coaster, by the way. I'm trying to... Oh yeah, this has inline twists now. I keep forgetting. I think I keep forgetting. It's only the second time I'm seeing it. But I don't want them because they look wrong on this coaster type. The idiosyncrasies give you more to talk about in the long run. Is it really though? Does it? Because then... I mean, it's given me a few extra videos, I suppose, because the maze one also, you know, they got it updated. And the second one from the maze was, like, got quite a nice amount of views, so I suppose that was worth it? Maybe? I don't know. Just annoyance from my side. And I know I can't expect, like, them to not do certain things just because it would be annoying for me if they happened. But that doesn't give me, you know, that doesn't absolve me from being allowed to be annoyed. This is like I said, a weird coaster. I like how it goes through this loop though. Imagine going to this park IRL. Oh, I would absolutely love to. I will probably not go on any of the rides out of fear of dying, but... I would love to visit a certain thing like this. Wow, this goes... I think we're going way too fast here. Actually, let me just do that. Perfect. Photo section. Yep, that's a barrel roll. Sensory overload will be a common happening here. I suppose, yes. Drown guest 606. Let's see if they're still in the park. Probably not. No. 609 is though. Oh, let's properly test this beast while I take a little drink. Ah. I love me some water. Dust plants, dust people, it's great. A little drink like he's hitting one-shotting vodka shots. Yeah, totally. Like, this CC bottle isn't filled with water. It's totally filled with vodka. Did you know I once smuggled vodka onto a high school trip? It's true. My brother had gotten vodka for his birthday. And he wasn't particularly a fan of it. But I liked it. And so he gave the bottle to me. Well, I think I was just about 16. And at some point we had a school trip to The Hague. Which was in class, the 5th class. When I was 16. And I didn't really, you know, I wasn't really looking forward to it. You know, it was for like politics, to learn about politics and stuff. So, I brought whatever little thing I had left from the bottle of vodka, which was like very little, maybe like half a shot worth, or 1 shot maybe. And it's just water, so and like it's not like your bags are getting checked anyway when you're going on school trips. So I brought it, and then at some point while we were out on our own, I drank it, and that was it. Like nothing special happened. It was just a tiny bit of alcohol that was in my system after that. Oh, right's in the way. Well, that's not good. Spilled on the other side then. Yeah, why did I do that? Just because I was stupid. My friends used to smuggle alcohol in some pens that originally had water and glitter in them and down it in class. I mean, that's even stupider. I mean, what I did was basically drink it, like bring it with me. And then I knew we'd be alone at some point. Alone being meaning just me and my friends. Like no teacher or any other classmates. And they knew about it. My friends knew about it in advance. I think one of them also brought alcohol. Oh yeah, one of them like brought gummy bears that had been soaked in alcohol. I don't know. It felt cool to do, I suppose. Hang on. There's a space in between. I didn't know there was a... No, never mind, I did. Yeah, it feels cool to smuggle. You know, I can admit to it now. I used to steal... You know, you have those shops like from the Kruidvat and stuff, which is... you have those like big... like things of candy. You can grab a bag and put like different things of candy in it, and different candy types, and you weigh it, and then you pay by weight. You know how that works, right? I don't know what the English term for it. We call it schepsnoep. And what I used to do when I was like 14, 15, you know, as a kid, it's exhilarating, and you stand there and you buy some, but at the same time you put a little bit in your pockets for free. Which is, you know, was exciting at the time. I don't regret it, because it's not like it's like a few bucks at most in total. So it's not like like I screwed someone over there. And I'm not proud of it, but I also don't really regret it. It's just a thing I did. Can I somehow connect this to there? I don't think so. Alright, let's just not try that. I'll save you. Thievery, larceny, theft. Yes. I'm calling the Kruidvat right now. This cannot go without justice. You gotta have one in Meppel. The pay by weight thing is too expensive anyway. I mean, it was 67 cents for 100 grams, which wasn't too expensive, I think. Alright, let's build... Oh, the 606. Yeah, I couldn't drive 606. I think I missed like a correction on that because I was telling a story. Let's see, Major Geek, did you say any other number? No, you haven't said any other number. You can still pick another number. In the meantime, let's actually build some flat rides. Because, you know, a lot of coasters in a park like this is fun. It's fun to build them, interesting puzzle and stuff like that. But it's the flat rides at the bottom that make it look truly dense. Like a Dodgems there. That right there. Why not? That's what does the density. If you ever want to do something like this and you want to make it look and feel like so undescribably dense, flat rides is the way to go. Like, lots of coasters, but lots of flat rides. You know, I really like the word indescribable. It's a good word, isn't it? Worst I've ever stolen was a Flippo laying on the floor next to a large ripped open bag of chips. Our parents got mad at me for it. That's slightly less worse than worst thing I've stolen. I'm not gonna lie, I would be terrified having a Dodgems over top of me from eating from a stall. I mean, it's on support. A lot of these supports are useless though. But I mean, it's typical teenager behavior. Especially now, you got a group of teenagers together, you're riling each other up and... You know, that's typical. And I think there's... I mean, stealing is never okay, obviously. But if it's like that, you know, you steal a little bit of candy or like a little bit of something else, and as a kid, and that's the only, you know, you don't continue that as an adult, I don't think it's a big deal. At that point, it's for me, it's just, you know, kids be kids. I accidentally stole a toy car at a garage sale. Ah. Well, I'll call the police on you. Let's see. Up. And that way. Wait, I shouldn't be stealing anymore now that I'm an adult. Ideally not. Have you been financing all those given subscriptions with stolen money? You're right, it's no big deal. So when will you tell us about the hot stuff? Well, I will not tell you about the time I stole that car. Now, speaking of stealing cars, hashtag relatable, no. Well, it's actually, you know, related to a story I'm about to tell. I used to work at the Jumbo Distribution Center in Bijlen. Which is basically the big warehouse with all the groceries and stuff. And I used to drive like a car with containers on them through it and collect the groceries for certain stores. And yeah, it was an okay job. But at some point there was a co-worker there who I got on okay with, I suppose. And he was, I wouldn't say a hardened criminal, but he certainly had a past. And he would tell me about it proudly, sort of. Like, he would tell me about times where he was, you know, he was cleverer than the police. And, you know, he got away with stuff that he shouldn't have gotten away with. And stuff like that. And he told me about, you know, he stole his first car when he was 14. And, you know, he done time for that. And, like, I related. Like, he wasn't admitting to crimes to me that he hadn't done time for. So it wasn't that. It wasn't stupid of him in that way. But I don't think there's any person I've had extended conversations with that I've related to any less. Wait, swinging ship exit path. Did I forget? Where is it? Where's the swinging ship? There. Now it's connected. Right? It's perfectly fine. But I just related to him so little on all the stuff that he told me about. It was a really weird experience. And I think he was a few years older than me. I think he's like probably 29 now or so. Which was just kept talking to me. And I didn't really relate. Because he would tell me all those stories about, you know, typical, like, I don't know, like deaf guy stuff and things like that. Or, you know, mechanic. He was a mechanic as well. And stories about that. And I just, like, I couldn't relate. Because, you know what I did at the time? He would be, like, make jokes about mechanics and, you know, lighter fluid, which is a classic one. But, you know, stuff like that. And I'm just a gamer who plays Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like, at that time as well. And, you know, I did uni and... Well, actually not at the time I knew him. I was in between studies. But it was so weird. I worked alongside convicts on loan from the county jail. They were all asking each other, what did you get? What did it get for you this time? What did it get you for this time? So repeat offenders. Hang on, let's see. Can I... There we go, that's the one I want. At this point, the thing with path height is quite useful. But this works fine. Have you vetted the mechanics in this park? I'll be honest, I don't really know what vetted means here. To be fair, is there much else to talk about in the county lockup? I mean, there's all stuff to talk about. Like, there were other co-workers. Checked if they have a criminal conviction. Oh. I haven't, actually. But, I mean, there were plenty of other co-workers who I wasn't necessarily friends with, but, you know, who I spoke to every now and then. And there were always interesting stuff, either about, you know, the job itself, but also at some point there was someone who was, like, well, sort of the mechanic there, I suppose. You know, who changed your battery if it was empty, because, you know, we were all working on electricity of your cars and stuff. And at some point, I found out that we both watched Super Carlin Brothers YouTube channel. So he was much more of a, I mean, watching a channel like that doesn't make you a nerd, but much more on the nerdy side, like me. We had actually something to talk about. You know, we could talk about Harry Potter and stuff. Which is much more different. And much better. Thank you for the Prime sub. Hot Hands 15. And thank you for the 50 bits, Biscreate. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with people who've done time in jail. I mean, if you've done your time and, you know, you've done your time, it's all fine. It was just that I couldn't relate to that guy at all. Okay, let's get height marks on paths. Oh, that's higher than I am. That's all I was afraid of. There we go. Luckily, there are also plenty of other people who I could relate with. How do I get this down here? Can I even get this down here? I mean, I probably can. Hang on. Hang on. What? I'm confuzzled. I'm also kind of stuck now. Fire staff for 5 minutes. Well, alright. It's gonna take like half a minute or even a minute to fire all of them in the first place. Well, we're gonna lose a lot of guests again. Which is actually not that big. It's actually not a problem, really. Because if we lose quite a few guests every now and then, we keep the lag down. If we never get over 10,000. Can I just connect this here? Well, that's 6. Right, yellow's in the way, but yellow's orange. That's fine. Ah, now that is a thoroughfare. Actually, it's not the thoroughfare yet, but it will be once I've connected it on this side. Ah, darn it. Ah, I can't go that way either. Drown the oldest one. Alright. 23. They have spent 734 bucks and now they're also gonna spend their life. There you go. You start with spending a lot of money and then you also spend your soul. Your soul belongs to me! That did not sound evil or threatening. I don't think I can really do an evil voice. How do I connect this? Because this is gonna... Oh, that was easier than I thought. But this is gonna be a proper mess. Like, it's slowly but surely this is becoming an actual proper mess, this park. He was the best customer, was he? He was the oldest, but maybe not necessarily the best. He was at 700 something. This guy is 770. 550. 936! 933. Told you, not necessarily the best. 770, 754, 864, 806. 1010. There we go. You know what? One big spender. There we go. He is now immune from drownings. To add buy mod. I'm never gonna add buy mod. Oh, let's see. Bench warmer. There we go. Stuff on everything. 3 minutes ago. I still have to wait 2 minutes until I can hire all the staff back. Yeah. I know pots are disgusting. It's not that bad, actually. I thought it would be a lot worse. It's quite a bit of pots without any pukies. I did fix all the vandalism just now, so maybe we won't lose as many guests. You can't ban yourself. No, but I can. I can ban Max. You know, get rid of his mod, ban him, delete him from existence, make his life utter hell. Am I going too far again? Anyway. Can you add fire mod? Or just ban a person of your choice? I imagine how that would go down. We are... Hang on, looping... Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. Like, estimating path height is difficult, okay? Can I pick to ban Marcel from his own stream? I mean, if I was dedicated to the joke, I would just stop streaming right now. You say yes and then you stop streaming. I'm not that dedicated to the joke, though. Okay, there we have another right. You know, we can build one next to it. No, we can't, because then we can't do exit paths and stuff. How about on this side? Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, Mr. AMD. I appreciate that. How about... I don't know. There. Oh. Nope. Thing in the way. Well, that didn't work. I thought it was behind it, but it's on top of the railroad. Isometric view, man. It's difficult. Nope. Doesn't work either. The problem with this ride is that it's quite tall, so you can't really build it on a mountain easily, because, you know, you get the too high for support problem. This doesn't work either, because coaster in the way. Ooh, there's a big spot here. There we go. Let's do there. Will that be fine? Yeah, I'll be fine. Otherwise I'll weasel my way around it. I mean, that one's easy. Problem is this one. Let's do, you know what? Let's actually do the proper thing. Like that. Oh, Mr. Lag Spike. Oh, I have not missed you. Okay, we can actually not connect it here yet properly. You know what? Let's just take this down. I think we might have ruined top of the mountain. No, we haven't. Oh my god, how do I... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go straight. Ooh. Oh, that fits nicely. And open. It's very satisfying when everything fits very nicely. I can rehire staff again. All these rides are broken. Marcel, say sexy. You know what's sexy? I am. I didn't know where I was going with that. But there's a good quote for you. Now, you know what people have actually said is sexy? My voice, apparently. My voice in my videos, you know, where it's, especially when it's scripted, when I don't do my ums and stuff. People have said it's sexy. Which, I mean, if people think it is, then for them it's true. It's a bit weird, though. But I am flattered. So I'll take the compliment. You do have a very nice voice, it's true. Soothing is very often a word that I hear. Which I do agree with. I actually... It's funny. It's a classical... You know, it's a very classic thing that YouTubers hate listening to their own stuff, right? I like listening to my own voice now. It's come to a point where I'm like, yes, I sound good. I like listening to my own stuff. I've listened to myself so often, and like I used to hate watching back my own videos. You know, for quality control, of course, you watch them back before you upload it. And I used to not like that at all. But I've done it so often, and now I'm just like, hell yeah, let's learn something about Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. And sometimes I get kind of drawn into it so much that I forget that I'm quality controlling the video, and I'm just actually invested in whatever I have to say about the topic in a video that I made myself and just export it. Like, that's how I get invested in my own videos. Not that I ever rewatch my old videos. It only really happens... You know, I only do it when I rewatch them just before uploading. Fun fact, apparently the reason why people usually don't like hearing recordings of their own voice is because they're used to hearing it with all resonance of your own head, so it sounds thinner and strange in a recording. Yes, I have a lot more bass for myself, which is obviously not there in a recording. But I've grown to like it. Like, most people are only arrive at the point where they've grown to not hate it. But I've grown to actually like my voice. Which I'm very lucky with. And the exit path, this one should be easy, right? Yes, it is. Good. Why are you calling slappers? What's up, slappers? It's like, I can't... honestly, I can't stand that. Like, Davey is a... Davey 504 YouTuber. He's a fine bassist and whatever. But I can't stand his meme style of content. I mean, I don't have to stand it, because it's not made for me. So it's absolutely fine, and, it's probably great content for the target audience. It's just that I can't stand it. That's one busy park. It is. Although we've only still just about started. I don't know any of these YouTubers you guys keep talking about. I mean, you also didn't know about Minecraft, so that totally makes sense. One slappers has other connotations in UK slang. Oh, really? I don't know what that would be. Let's build a compact invert. Why not? I love it, it's my humor. Oh, that's entirely fine. Like, sometimes people call other YouTubers like bad YouTubers, cringe YouTubers, and I'm like, they're not bad or cringe, they're just, not your own, like, you're not their audience. Like, I'm not Davey's audience, which is fine. Just like there are people who find that I am incredibly boring and I talk way too slow. But they're just not my audience. So everything's fine. Same thing, I really don't like hip hop. You got a song like Anaconda or stuff like that, which is about the only hip hop song I know because it's popular. I can't stand it, but it's probably still a good song from, hip hop perspective and stuff. Okay, where shall I go with this? I can stay close to the ground, or I can go up. I kind of wish that after this we could do like a half loop upwards. Wouldn't that be cool? But unfortunately that's not a thing. If I go down here, yeah, that doesn't work. You kind of like Billie Eilish. Oh, I'm a big fan of Billie Eilish. It's so much fun when people say that Billie Eilish is terrible and she can't sing and stuff, and they listen to the music they listen to, now that's music. And I'm like, well, I listen to stuff you would probably call real music, like Queen and stuff like that, and I also like Billie Eilish. So what's up with that? A slapper is a pejorative term for a woman who has multiple lovers. Really, I've never heard of that. Then again, I'm not UKian, so makes sense that I would not have heard of it. Oh, land not owned by park. I was not aware I was so close to the park edge. Okay, this is not gonna work. Just because someone doesn't like something doesn't mean it's not music. Yeah. And Billie Eilish, like, sure, it's not like your Adele singing. It's like oftentimes a bit more whispery, but still singing. It's like metal screaming. It's not your classical singing, which still takes a lot of, I wouldn't say talent, but a lot of practice and skill. Adele is so good. Well, it's funny. I mean, I agree Adele is really good, but I don't really listen to her. I'm kind of bored by her songs now. I have a few songs for her in my playlist, to be honest, but not a lot. Oh, we have vertical stuff on this, but can I actually get out of here? That's the question. I can. Good. Yeah, I have plenty of space here. I need brakes, otherwise the turns are going to be a problem. Okay, 14 km/h brakes. Oh, oops, I just messed up that queue line. Billie Eilish is not as good as carnival music. Now, I said I don't like hip-hop. If there's anything that I like even less, it's carnival music. I despise carnival music. I absolutely cannot stand it. It's so bad. Carnival music. I don't really know what you would compare it to with, like, a style name in English or something. But it's always sang in Dutch. Well, almost always anyway. I'm talking about the one sang in Dutch anyway. The lyrics are always, like, they have nothing of, like, they're about nothing, basically. They're partying or whatever. And I just don't like it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Thank you for your first gifted sub, Biscreate. I appreciate that. Carnival music is drunk and stupid, basically. Nothing is as good as the Knot. Okay, I can appreciate the joke in the Knot. I know that song, actually. Because the Knot, I think that's a real bird, actually. But, you know, if you say that if you say that a few times in a row, then you get Knot, Knot, Knot. And, you know, one of the words there is a word in English, means the same as the F word, which is one that you hear. Oh, in Dutch, I mean, sorry. So it's basically the F word. So I appreciate the joke, but I still hate the music. Okay, where am I? Will this connect? Oh, it will actually. Good. Oh, there's a real bird. Good. What's this emote? Oh, that was my old profile picture. Before I changed it to a cartoon of me. And it's still probably one of the best coasters. Like, honestly, that kind of carnival music is about... Nah, I shouldn't say that. I was about to insult a lot of people. I would say it's about as low-brow as you can get. It's funny, because like, carnival's music is quintessentially Dutch. The other music genre that the Netherlands is very well known for is electronic music. Which I'm not a fan of at all either. So, I'm just not a fan of the music that the Netherlands is famous for. Oh, there's a big empty spot here. I spelled it not in that empty spot, but a little bit over to the side. It's the perfect music to sing along to drunk in a bar. That sentence sounds like you typed it when you were drunk. That's not good English, I believe. Yeah, being drunk in a bar is where you lost me, because I'm never drunk in a bar, because I'm never drunk anymore. Color red is your choice. Alright. The inverted coaster, bright green and salmon pink. Now that's a weird combination. Also, what are Z stats? Oh, Z stats are, 597057. Pretty alright. What was it again? Bright green and salmon pink. That actually goes fairly alright. I mean, I deliberately make the bulk of the track not salmon pink. Because I had the choice. I was hoping it'd be uglier. Well, I'll give myself a pat on the back. I'll blow my own horn every now and then. I'd say I'm pretty good with picking good color combinations. And whenever I'm restricted like that, I can make it work the best I can. Which I did. Do you know the word Fremdschämen? Shaman? I don't know how. I don't know how to German. I mean, it sounds like shaming your friends, but I don't think that's the correct translation. What does it mean? I mean, there's Schadenfreude, which we have a word for. It's called leedvermaak. But that's not it. Oh, by the way, I missed a follow 10 minutes ago. 69WSS Jamie. Welcome to the follow fam. I don't like that, but welcome to the follow fam. Let's get cringe, everyone. The follow fam, slam that like button and subscribe. Especially on Twitch, because ka-ching. No, follow and share with everyone, and follow me on YouTube, or subscribe on YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I'm losing my will to live. Not really, but close enough. Football's in the way. It means feeling shame for the things people from your country do. We do have, like, plaatsvervangende schaamte, which is feeling shame for things that other people in general do. But that's a bit, I'm not sure if there's, like, I don't know, I could make it like landschaamte, which means country shame. But I don't think that's a commonly used word. There's small, medium, large, sometimes also XS and XL, XS and XXL. Why isn't there an XM? There's just extra medium. That's not a thing. Ring that bell and absolutely punch the lights out of the like button. I have no idea how many people are using notifications on my channel. I can check, but I have never checked. I have checked, but I haven't checked for years. You can, you have like the sponsors, the classic sponsors, Squarespace and stuff, which I would actually be happy to take a sponsorship from. But it's still, a classic YouTuber thing. There are so many cliches. Oh, you need a catchphrase to be a super classic YouTuber. I have a catchphrase. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. And I'll see you in the next video. The little pause at the end is mine. Because I'll see you in the next video. That, people have done that before, but I do it like, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. That little pause, well, I didn't invent it, obviously, but it's fairly unique, at least to me. I mean, others should be doing it as well. Like, there's so many YouTubers, at least one other person who's doing the same. But still. Copyrighted. I'm going full Fine Brothers and copywriting little stuff like that. Can we do this? I don't think that works. Would you erase it one? Yeah, that'll work. Make the pause longer with every video. Like at the end. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I was like, how long? I kind of wanted to finish this queue line, but I was having more trouble with it than I expected, so it didn't work. Oh, I have a space here. I could have done this much easier. There were 2 ad breaks in that pause. Just imagine that. Imagine that if at the end of this live stream I go, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you. And just end the live stream. Actually, has that happened? Because what I do is I say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next live stream, whatever I say. Then I click end stream, but the live stream is a bit delayed. I don't know, like, does that play out in full still, or does it just end when I click end and it cuts me off because you were listening to me like 10 seconds in the past? I don't actually know. That has happened, okay. Yeah, it cuts off usually. Like, if raiding wasn't a thing, I would have had an outro song. Probably would have used the same song, but just, you know, change the stream to words like thanks for watching or whatever. But in, like, at least 80% of my streams I raid someone, so I can't be bothered with an outro song for the few times that I would need it. Why not have the raid countdown do its thing? Oh, that's not a bad idea, but I would still have to time it, kind of. You know, I can't like do the raid and in the last few seconds say goodbye, because then you still wouldn't see it. But that's not a bad idea, actually. Marcel saying those lines is pleasant and relaxing. Don't mix it up. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna change my intro for the YouTube videos. I might change it like on occasion. Like, a few times I've done a dramatic intro just for the fun of it. And then I'll do the dramatic intro, and then after that's done I'll say my hello everyone. Like, when I did 1000 guests 1 queue line, that video, I like a very dramatic intro with like thunder, like underlining my words, and it was very fun to do. That was the most fun thing to make in the entire video. So that dramatic intro is more like a cold open. What's a cold open? Like, I've heard someone say that before, but I don't know what it is. Where's the exit? There's the exit. A cold open is a scene in TV show that plays before the intro theme. Oh, okay. I mean, it was still not really a scene. It was, you know, it didn't give me any info. That would, I mean, that wasn't really a cold open. A cold open would be me saying like, today we're gonna talk about the, not to be today. A cold open would be me like saying, the splash boats is a ride with a very high capacity and excitement rating. And then, hello everyone. That would be more like a cold open. But the intro, like the dramatic intro, didn't really give any info. Can I go this way? So I don't think it can be really considered cold open. Oh my god, is there stupid roller coasters in the way? Can I just go... Where am I? Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm not reading that. That's way too long. Film yourself waving slowly into the camera as the rain countdown begins. I have only been on camera in one of my videos once. I'm planning to do it at least one more time this year though. There's actually, like, there are certain YouTube channels, like Atlas Open is very good at that. He'll have like a very long intro, like they say he has a 30-minute video. Sometimes his intro, like the 15-second animated intro, whatever, with music, is like at the 8-minute mark of a 30-minute video. And I'm like, that's very late, because usually, you know, those kind of YouTubers, like City Beautiful as well, and Geography Now, they'll have a really like short cold opener of like maybe 30 seconds or a minute at most, and then they'll have the intro. But Atlas Open is very good at having extremely long intros. It's a lovely YouTube channel though. Like, if you don't know about Atlas Open, go watch him. He's absolutely amazing. You need your points refunded. Why? Because I didn't react in 5 seconds. I mean, I'll name the park Coasterville, which is what you asked. No, don't refund them. I associate the cold open with sitcoms. Yeah. I don't really watch a lot of sitcoms though, but yeah, you have that there as well. Atlas Open. No, Atlas Pro. Did I say Atlas Open? It's Atlas Pro. I completely messed that up. Oh, there's not a proper invert. I forgot that we had access to that. Oh, geography question. I'm excited. And thank you for the follow. X Olive for 96. Let's see, where shall we build this? Alright, I wanted to build it right behind here. But I would need to make it 2 units higher. Hang on. 3 units higher. There we go, because then we can do entrance stuff, otherwise we can't. The cooldown is only 30 minutes, so it lasted longer than the cooldown. The park name one isn't used a lot, though. What's the biggest pyramid in Egypt? I mean, that's Giza, right? Like one of the 3. I'm not sure if it has like a specific different name, but yeah, I would say Giza. Cozy Human follows you. Oh, thank you. I do find it an interesting fact that Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt. Like, Egypt's obviously, you know, the land of the pyramids and stuff, land of the pharaohs. But Sudan has more of them. They're often smaller, but it's more. What I find fascinating about the pyramid in Egypt anyway is that it stood as the world's tallest thing ever built for approximately 3,000 years, right? No, 4,000 years. Well, 3,500 maybe. Like from 2500 BC until about like 1100, when some churches were built taller. Which is very impressive. Do you check your videos and if they're still accurate? No. No, I can't. That's way too much work. I have a lot of videos, you know. And if they were accurate at the time, they are still accurate. Roller Coaster Tycoon isn't changing. Like OpenRCT is changing. You know, something about OpenRCT 2 might not be accurate, but anything about Roller Coaster Tycoon itself will be accurate still. Because that's not changing. Assuming it was obviously accurate in the first place. The pyramids were built by aliens, totally, and the government is lizard. Lizard is a good word. I do want to take some time to update a lot of my old, terrible, absolutely terrible thumbnails. Maybe a few titles here and there, but mainly the thumbnails. Like, they used to be terrible. Like, for example, I would make an overview on, let's say the wooden coaster. And there would be a park with only this wooden coaster in it. Like only this blue and black wooden coaster. And I would just take a screenshot like this. Because I didn't know how to zoom in. Apparently. Or use a scaling factor. Because zooming more wasn't a thing back then yet. I just take a screenshot like this and you have to use the thumbnail. It would be even worse if the coaster was smaller. Like, for example, you see Doppelganger. Go look at my wild mouse. Ooh, that was dangerous, this one. Look at my wild mouse overview. It's like the size of the Doppelganger, my wild mouse in the thumbnail, on a flat green plane. And it's just this. It's just a screenshot like this, because I didn't know how to zoom in yet. Like, yeah, right now my thumbnails are great, Sabrina. I agree. I think they're great. But thank you for the compliment. But they've improved a lot. How long does it take you to come up with your thumbnails? Usually, I don't know, 5 minutes. Thumbnails are not very difficult for me. Because they don't need to be flashy. Because my videos aren't flashy either. The Limb Coaster has the same problem. The Giga Coaster is when I started using, roughly about that time, my thumbnail started to become a bit better. Like, it's a bit more zoomed in. Still not how I would do it today, but that video got a lot of views, so it's probably fine. OpenRCT 2, you need to be on the OpenGL drawing engine. You can't stand all the faces in thumbnails. I mean, sometimes it's fine. It depends on what the video is about, really. Like, the addition of just a shocked face. Like the emoji that I used for my April Fool's video last year. I mean, yeah, that's just you know, gone sexual in the title and stuff. That's just not okay. But sometimes, you know, if I did this, like I built this, and then it's your face next to whatever you built, that's fine. I cannot stand when a thumbnail shows something and then it never shows up in the video. Well, then you must not like my thumbnails. Because pretty much all of my thumbnails, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, are specifically built for the thumbnail. I'm joking, I know, but that's not what you mean, I know, but... Yeah, my thumbnails generally don't appear in my videos. Now, obviously, the topic does. Like, if my thumbnail has a splash boats in it, obviously there's a splash... The video is about splash boats. But the very splash boat in the thumbnail will not be in the video. Also, I've mentioned splash boats for videos like a lot of times in this live stream. I wonder what Thursday's video will be about. I have no idea. I think you ask a question and answer is in the thumbnail. Oh yeah, I've done that a couple of times. You wasted 1000 channel points. I'm sorry, I missed that again. Why am I missing so many of these today? Name a ride of your choice. New coaster, name it Scary Heights. Alright. You don't have to be that dramatic, Housefinger. Just remind me of it. Splashboat's overview. I have no idea. Truly, I don't. But yeah, the answering thumbnail is like... It's called anti-clickbait, sort of. It's a popular style recently. And I like it. And sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't do it. Yeah, it depends on the video. I've had people complain about it, which is fair enough, especially if it's a more complicated, like, big number answer. Like, sometimes people don't want to know it ahead of time. Which, yeah, that's fair. Let's do photo section, why not? Oh, hang on, we're not at the correct height. Whoops. What I hate is the thumbnail of a video that's made up of multiple videos and the thumbnail never shows up. It doesn't really make any sense, but I think I know what you mean, and it's classic, you know, it's the classic clickbait thumbnail style, which we all don't like, but apparently it works and it gets you the views. It loses your integrity though. Although I kind of don't like the term clickbait, you know? Because my thumbnails are clickbait. I'm trying to bait you into clicking my videos. I just try to be honest as well. But clickbait, like everyone does clickbait. You make an attractive thumbnail. That's how YouTube works. It's just that, you know, and exaggerate, like making the thumbnail spectacular, like very attractive, and making the topic seem very spectacular. That's also a very normal thing. Like exaggerating a little bit in the thumbnail, like, or in the title, what I did, like the most insane park I ever built for my video. Like, I bet none of you have a problem with that. That's clickbait though. And that's why I don't like the term. Clickbait is a very normal thing in video making. Like, well, everything. You make it have a good and attractive title. Yeah, misleading, that's a better word. Well, you say there's nothing wrong with clickbait in general, because sometimes you gotta chase that bag, Phantom. It's not even that about, you know, wanting money. Because, yeah, I've made a few videos deliberately just over 8 minutes long. You know, added like a few seconds here and there, so that I could put in an extra ad. That is chasing that bag, because, you know, I need money to live. But making like a clickbaity thumbnail is just like you need a title, and so you just make it as attractive as you can, because why wouldn't you? Okay, so you didn't really like the title, Max. Well, on the one hand, it's a bit clickbaity. On the other hand, it's also true. Like, it's. I think title was I built the most insane park ever. So ever was still in there, but sort of, you know. It is true. It's the most insane park I ever built. The overcrowded Forest Frontiers. And, you know, maybe at some point this one will rival it. But when I made that video, this one wasn't built yet, obviously. So it wasn't a lie. I just watch your videos because I like the way you say video. I don't get that. I really don't get it. What's so weird about how I say video? Like, I know I have a Dutch accent, but what's specific about the way, like, So, like, when I listen back to my videos, or, you know, just my voice when I'm recording it, I can hear my Dutch accent, obviously. And sometimes I cringe a bit about how I pronounce certain words. It doesn't really work sometimes, but, you know, I gotta be content with it, because, you know, I can record it as many times as I want. It's not going away. But I don't get how I pronounce video weird. To me, that sounds not particularly like a heavy Dutch accent. Viddy ho. I mean, in terms of build the most insane one ever built by anyone. Yeah, I could have made it even more extreme. What I did do, what I don't usually do, is I capitalized the word insane, like full caps. Which I thought was fitting. Usually I only capitalize the first word of every word of the sentence. Well, every major word, like not the word duh or whatever. Alright, see ya, host finger. I think I've said that like an hour ago as well. But a video is something entirely different. I'm trying to find a good place for the station of this ride. We're very close to 10,000 guests. Hang on. Hang on. Where's the queue line of this thing? I just placed this and never built a queue line or opened it. That's weird. Wait, you say bingo, Janto. Why bingo? How long has it been there? Well, it's Dodgems 5. Is that the most recent Dodgems? It is. I mean, I've certainly built this stream. And the exit. No, the exit is there. It doesn't have a path either. No reason. Oh, bingo. Oh, you're playing bingo. I had actually forgotten about bingo. So you were right to play it again, because I had forgotten about it. It took me a while. But you're playing Marcel bingo. Or whatever you call it. And forgetting an exit path is part of it. But this is not the first exit path I've forgotten this stream. So you're a bit late on your bingo, on that one. This is becoming a habit. It's not becoming a habit. It already is a habit. Oh my god. You know what I need? I need a big fat path. Right here. There we go. Probably missed the past ones. Yeah. My cat is sitting here and I'm forcing her to watch this abomination with me. Good. Go up here. And... there we go. Now that's a thoroughfare. And I can connect path to it. There we go. Did someone actually make a bingo sheet? Yes. Max did. A while ago. A few months. The problem is he's trying to let me... Like trying to wait until I've forgotten that it exists. So that you can play it without me manipulating it. But now I've remembered again. Because of Janto. So this is never gonna work like this. Okay, and that's connected as well. Can I... No, this doesn't work. Hang on. 7? No, 6. Okay, nope. Nope. Okay, you can't connect that. Oh, I removed it from the banned word list, Max, because people were having problems with it. Like bingo is also a word you might just sometimes say. So yeah, please don't add words like that to the banned list anymore. Maybe a Marcel Vos drinking game. Take a shot every time I forget an exit line. Or take a shot every time I drown a guest. 1, 2. He's lucky, he's on the right. 3, 4, 5. Are you drunk yet? He's also lucky. 6. I drown faster than the guests by the end of the stream. You should all be dead by now. You know what would be even funnier? If I took a shot every time I forgot an exit line. But then I'll, you know, getting more drunk and, you know, you start playing worse and worse. And I forget more exit lines. Which means even more drinking. Drown guest 420. I'm pretty damn sure they're already dead and gone and pulverized to hell. I lost my breath there. Yeah, 420 is gone. Is there any kind of mechanical limit to how many visitors can be in this park? It used to be 9,601, but OpenRCT2 changed it to 65,234, I think. Which one do you want to drown instead, fluffy kittens? Fluffy little kittens. You've been watching my stream for quite a while as well. It's nice to see you here still. 690. Let's see. 690. Nope. Also already dead or gone. Yeah, we got over 10,000 guests, which is very lovely. And almost 2 million in the bank. Wouldn't 65432 make more sense? Now it's 5,000. Did I say 234? Should be 254. Because it's the sprite limit is 65,535, but 399 sprites are always used. So that would be then 156, if I'm mathing correctly. I think 6969 will also already be gone, but I'll have a look. Oh, still on the first page. 6969 is gone. I mean, you're going for the popular numbers. This is the third stream of this park. All the popular numbers have already been taken. Do your rides count against the sprite limit? The rides don't, but the cars do. Like, this wooden coaster car, 7 cars, train is 7 cars, so it's 7 sprites. I can actually test the max in a minute. 7770. They might still be in the park. They might have already just gone on their, you know, left on their own accord. Their own accord. 7777. Nope, not in the park. How many 7-ups is that? A lot. Will the chain lift also be a sprite? No. It's not. I don't know what exactly all is a sprite and what isn't, but generally it's staff, ride vehicles, and guests. Refund, please. Sure, but that's not really, like, meant to happen. Like, if you... It's fine this time, but it's not really meant to happen that if you can't drown your favorite number, then we do the refund. I mean, I don't really care about the channel points, just more work for the mods. And in case no mods are online, you know, watching the stream, then I gotta do it and remember to do it after the stream, and yeah, it's a whole thing. Would 4269 be still alive? Most likely not. Let's see. Nope. Not at all. But let me see how many guests are actually possible. So, let's do Forest Frontiers. And it's suddenly quite quiet. It won't be in a minute though. So I'm gonna block ZN Trans. And then we're gonna do a lot of large trams. There you go, you can already hear the guests. I need to click a lot of times for this. Now the lag is coming on. Deafening silence. Pretty much. Lag incoming. Well, the lag's already there. It's already there. Here comes the stampede. Yeah. I mean, look at that. It's just a thick line of guests. If only you had an auto-clicker. I don't want to have them all at once. Because that's a bit... That causes a lot of lag. Like... I knew I had it. I was specifically not using it. The banner might also be a sprite, actually. I'm not sure. Like, there's a separate banner limit. Maybe it counts only towards that. Alright, I'm clicking faster now. Like the anchovy episode of SpongeBob. That's just the first episode. Like, the first episode of SpongeBob has already so many meme-worthy moments. Okay, we're at 22,000. Let's see, fast going, 24. 25. I wonder what the maximum number of guests your park could sustainably support would be. I've gotten to like 20,000. And like 65,000 is perfectly doable. I'm 100% sure. The problem is lag. Like, I did like the biggest park ever. I'm not sure what I called it. But, oh yeah, that's a lot of guests. That was what I called it. And I had to stop after like, what, like 5 episodes? Because the lag was getting unbearable. Oh, put water under it. That's a good idea. I already do that before the lag becomes too unbearable. I mean, it's already quite bad. Let's see. Give it a 5. There we go. And that one. Come on. Just one down. And you. There we go. And let's raise the water. 65,000 isn't possible if you're playing normally because of sprite limits from coaster cars. Oh yeah, it's not quite 65,000. Yeah, you'll be at like 60,000 or whatever. But 60,000 is definitely possible. I'm sure of it. Okay, that's the water. Okay, we're at 48,000. Patience guys, patience guys, attention adds to the friction. What else friction? Yeah, it's quite a slideshow. We're at 51,000. Yeah, seconds per frame. Not quite, it's about 1 FPS at the moment. How many guests come with one large tram? 250. So it would only require about 240 clicks of me. And I think we might have already spawned all of them. Let's see, if we zoom out. Yeah, no more new guests are coming. We've already spawned the max. Like, we're already seeing all of the guests here. The stream turned into a PowerPoint. Pretty much. As long as my voice is not laggy, which I'm pretty sure it isn't, it's fine. Although, zooming in now, I need to zoom back in, which is a bit of a problem. I also can't really move around at the moment. I'm trying to move around, but it's not working. What if I use the arrow keys? Will that work? Oh, that will work. Good. Yeah, now it truly is seconds per frame. Yeah, about 1.5, 2 seconds per frame. Nah, not 2 seconds. Slightly faster than that. Slightly faster than half a second, like half a frame per second. Okay, we're getting there. This is going to be very satisfying, drowning all of them. I mean, it's like a video where I drowned 50,000 guests all at once, just for the hell of it. Okay, let's already open this tool. Because we can. Almost as much frames as the Elden Ring PC port. Is that like a Lord of the Rings game? I heard of that. I don't really know what it is though. Yeah, they're almost all in the park. 62,000. It was like a Dark Souls game. For some reason I thought it was Lord of the Rings. Probably because Ring. No, that one was 60 FPS for me. Well, this doesn't. 63,000. We're getting there. 63.5. 63.6. So it should be slightly more than 65,000. They're almost all in the park. Just taking a while because we're on Mr. Slideshow. Also, this is still only 3. Can I just click on it and type it myself? Because I need it to be 11. Does that work? Yes, it works. Good. There we go. Already this. Perfect. You need to post this on Marcel Dos. Now, I mean, I've already drowned 50,000 guests on my main channel. This is pretty much the same. Get the chant going. Die. 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 Okay, we're past 65,000. He will drown, drown, river, drown, drown, river, drown. That's a joke that only one person in the world will get, and he's most likely not watching. 65,135? 36? It's still... yeah, they're all in the park. 65,136. At 399, and we're at 65,535. So it's just, you know, 2 to the power 16 minus 1 minus 399, or just 2 to the power 16 minus 400. And now they will all perish. Goodbye. Die. 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 See how loud notifications get. I hope I get notifications from these. I hope I didn't accidentally turn them off for something and not turn them on. Nope. We're good. They're very good. It's still a bit of a slideshow though. We don't have the meaty sound yet. We'll get it in a minute. It's getting faster. Ah, that was lovely. I have become death. Destroyer of guests. It's funny because you still get a few at the back. I don't know why we get those. Like, it's not that they took that long to drown, they just delayed notifications. Yeah, that was very satisfying. Thank you for the follow, ADDF, Toxic and Real Grail. And I think I've drowned number 42, Crazy Baboon. Yeah, we just genocided the guests. I just killed 65,000 guests. Which is nothing, really. Where is that quote from, by the way? I have become Death Destroyer of... What is the original quote? Worlds? I don't know, I just read a comment from someone. That's where I got that from. So even though all 65k people got dumped in the water at the same time, there's enough variance in the behavior that they don't all die at once. They die faster the more energy they have. From Oppenheimer, I don't even know what that is. The guests with the most energy drown first, and the ones with the least energy drown last. Oh, it's from the Hindu gods. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's build one more coaster here today. Let's have it be a looping coaster. Ah, the guy who made the atom. Well, not made, part of making it. And that doesn't work. Okay. Higher. Faster. Taller. Better. It's like a Daft Punk song, right? Faster, taller, better, extremer, or whatever. Isn't it like harder, faster, better, stronger, or something like that? I don't know. I don't listen to Daft Punk. I know they exist though. Harder, better, faster, stronger, yes. And regretted it. Well, if Oppenheimer didn't make the atomic bomb and his team, someone else would have by now. Oh, these boosts are only at 28. That's not fast enough. Faster! Name a ride of your choice. Alright. Let's see, I need more booster. And now I can do looping. I will do looping. Looping is what I will do. Looping, 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 looping. Hey Marcel, first time catching you live. Well, you joined at the perfect moment where I go mad on the word looping. But your videos on RCT2 really helped me through having COVID at the start of the year. Oh, I'm glad that I helped you through a tough time, and I hope you're doing better now. Great content, always keep it up, man. Well, thank you. Thank you for the follow, PipDig. Let's see, what's the name? Higher, faster, looper, stronger. Alright. Higher, faster, looper, stronger. I sometimes wonder, you know, people, you know, they see my YouTube videos and at the end I say, you know, you can follow me on Twitch if you like. And they're like, okay, I wonder, you know, they're used to my YouTube videos. And so they'll start following me on Twitch and they're wondering what I'm like and stuff. And then they finally catch me on Twitch. And then they join. And I'm like, looping, 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 looping. And they're like, what on earth is this? I wonder how many people are just completely confused by how different I am on the live stream. I'm not that different. It's just unscripted, I suppose. What's the longest the name of a coaster or park can be? Well, let's give it a shot. That one's already called Agoraphobia. Oh, this one doesn't have a name yet. Alright, let's just put a lot of W's, because that's the longest... Oh, that's how long it can be. That and no longer. I find you very personable on the streams, so thank you. This is quite a long name, but not as long as I thought it would be able to be. The thing about live streams is that they're scary. Well, not for me anymore, but... Live streams are unscripted, and they're not only unscripted, but like they're unmoderated by yourself. Because if you make unscripted videos and you don't like what you filmed, you just, you know, don't put it out. That's fine. But on live streams, it's like, it's not only unscripted, it's also like unmoderated. So whatever I say goes out. So you know, kind of have to be careful with what you say. And sometimes I do actually have to be careful. There's like things I have to think about, will I say them or not? Most of the time not, because I'm not a very controversial person. But it is, for some people especially, it's kind of difficult to do the live streams and be very wary of what they say. Yeah, plus anything that the 200 or so of you say that I have to react to. Which is not very difficult, because you guys are great. But imagine if you're a bit more of a controversial person of whatever you say, and you got a lot of haters in your live stream. That would not be very comfortable. It would not be very nice. Then again, I can't imagine ever doing that, so there are some people that probably don't really mind, but they also purposely make videos or do live streams that have the controversial stuff, because that's just the, I don't know, the stuff they thrive off. It isn't really me, but you know, some people are like that, which is fine. Where shall I go with this? Actually, I want to have one little piece there. Just to see if I can do the connect here. And I can continue this like to the other side. Let's see, if we go that way, then this can become a thoroughfare. If I can connect it, that is. Which seems to not be too difficult. I'm already down here. And go that way. Perfect. Awesome. I mean, my park is slowly becoming less and less navigable. So I do feel sorry for the guests. But it is also becoming more and more dense. I mean, this is becoming one hell of a park. How many guests are lost? Well, 1700 think it's too crowded, which is not a big deal because I have like 1 billion entertainers. I feel sick, it's really clean and tidy, I need to go to the toilet. How many toilets do I have? I have 5 toilets. And 16 cash machines. You see where my attention is? I want your money, so I will have 16 cash machines, but I don't care if your pants get wet. So I only have 5 toilets. Only 4 info kiosks. I don't have a lot of food stalls either. But I do have 18 balloon stalls because I like a rainbow and a lot of colors. Priorities. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Did I say a different word? Whatever. I don't really care. I often can't find the words I want to use in these live streams, and I'll just use different words or not use the word at all, and it'll be fine. Because that's how live stuff works. Especially if English is your second language. And my English is very good for someone who has it as a second language, but it's not anywhere near perfect. So you get a lot of stuff like that. And in my videos you don't notice that, because when I can't think of a word, I just look it up. It doesn't happen very often though, but you know, I just look it up, which is fine. And you don't notice that. But live, I don't have that safety net. I wish for crowded parks that we can have vertical paths where you don't need a slope, it's just a ladder. Imagine that. Imagine that, like, you want to go to the merry-go-round, you gotta climb that 20-meter tall ladder. How crazy would that be? How dangerous as well. But yeah, this is about the end of the live stream. And I'm very excited to continue this for the next one. I'm gonna say, last time I did this park, I was a bit frustrated at times. Maybe it was just... I don't know, maybe I wasn't in a good mood generally, I don't know. But this time I had a lot more fun with it. So I wasn't really sure on continuing this thing, but now I am sure on continuing this. Because it's fun. The Ollerin Farm, Marcel. I completely butchered that. And I'm fine with it. This one already looks so full. No, it's not. It's not full at all. Okay, let's see who we can raid. Probably Brian, because he went live like 10 minutes before I did. And he often streams for longer. Yeah, he's still live. Brian and Drelzik. I like his stuff. So we're gonna raid Brian. So, yeah, speaking about difficult languages, his last name is Polish. Does not look like Andralzik, but that's how you pronounce it. So thank you all very much for watching this live stream. And I'll see you in the next live stream, which will be on Wednesday. Oh, good night.